You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 148.1, the daily report for high schools and colleges in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and northern Hamilton counties, with updates on the Pacers, IU, Ball State, and IU-Kokomo.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we are proud of you for making good choices. Today is January 14th, 2025. It's a Tuesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. I am coming to you today from Stage 22 in Elwood. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Today, we look at boys and girls basketball and college basketball from Tuesday, some wrestling and swimming, plus the Pacers took on league-leading Cleveland again. We start on the local hardwoods with Tipton's sixth consecutive win, 71-36, over winless Wabash behind 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists from senior star Grady Carpenter. Eastbrook handed Taylor its first loss of the season, 48-41, coming from behind to do it. Muncie Central shot 75% and ended a 3-game losing streak with a 63-22 triumph over Burris. Oak Hill at Southwood was postponed. That game will be played next Tuesday. Of course, weather pending as always. We will have a full boys basketball scoreboard for you Wednesday with a report from Eastbrook Taylor. From the Action Sports Network's Kevin Helfrich. To girls basketball, Sheridan won a potential sectional preview game, beating Lapel 57-41 in Sheridan. The Blackhawks got 27 points from Kinsey Garner and have won 13 games in a row. Western clinched the Hoosier Conference East Division with a 56-55 win over Hamilton Heights. Ella Rawlings and Elise Walden combined for 26 points and 12 rebounds for the Panthers. Ashlyn Baker scored on a putback as time expired in overtime to lift Mississinawa past rival Marion 43-42. Jelena Harris scored 27 points to lead Taylor to a 47-41 win over Madison Grant. Elwood beat Burris 47-34. Breland Norris scored 23 to lead the Panthers to their 11th win of the season. Harrison pulled away late to beat Kokomo 51-46 despite 21 points from Wildcat senior Michaela Drake. And Greenfield Central beat Anderson 78-38. In the Delaware County Tournament, Delta and Daleville easily advanced to the semis with big wins on Tuesday. Delta beat winless West Del 92-9, and Daleville ran past Cowan 55-25, setting up Friday's semifinals between rivals Delta and Yorktown, Thursday at 6, and Daleville versus Wapahani at 7:30. The four teams are a combined 48-16. In local wrestling, Frankton beat Eastern Hancock 53-29. And in swimming, Eastern swept Elwood 134-41 on the boys' side, and a 100-55 victory by the Comet girls. The Pacers put up a good fight against league-leading Cleveland on Tuesday without star point guard Tyrese Halliburton. In the end, though, Cleveland avenged Sunday's home loss with a 127-117 victory. Donovan Mitchell scored 35 points for the now 34-5 Cavs. Pascal Siakam led the Pacers with 23 points. Ben Mathurin scored 19 before being ejected in the fourth quarter. Indiana is now 22-9 after having its 6-game winning streak snapped. The Pacers are tied for 5th in the East with Milwaukee. The Pacers go to Detroit on Thursday to play a Pistons team that is on a roll. They've won 7 of their last 8 games behind point guard Cade Cunningham and are now 21-19 on the season. IU laid an egg Tuesday at home against number 19 Illinois. And a 94-69 loss. IU was 25 for 65 from the field with 11 turnovers. Illinois made 11 threes and went 23 for 26 at the foul line. The Illini led 60-32 at the half. The 94 points is the most ever scored by a Big Ten opponent At Assembly Hall, according to Jeff Goodman, Omar Ballo led the Hoosiers with 16 points and 15 rebounds before being ejected from the game. The Hoosiers are now 13-5 overall and 4-3 in the Big Ten after their second straight loss. They head to Ohio State for an 8 o'clock tip Friday. The game is on Fox. Ball State suffered an 86-71 road loss Tuesday at Ohio. The Cardinals are now 8-8 overall and 2-2 in the MAC. Senior Mickey Pearson led Ball State with 19 points. The Cardinals host 9-7 Toledo at 2 o'clock on Saturday. The game can be seen live at Worthen Arena or on ESPN+. IU-Kokomo is tied atop the River States Conference West Division after a 91-84 win over conference-leading St. Mary's of the Woods Tuesday. Both IUK and the Pomeroys are now both 4-1 in the conference. 4 Cougars scored in double figures, led by sophomore forward Joseph Annan with 20 points, and senior forward Noah Harris had a double-double of 16 points and 10 rebounds. IUK is now 13-4 overall. Earlier Tuesday, Western grad and IUK junior Evan Kretz was named the River States Conference Player of the Week. In college basketball, 13-4 Purdue puts its 5-game winning streak on the line Wednesday when it goes to 10-7 Washington, the Boilermakers' first trip to Washington for a Big Ten game. Then they're at number 13 Oregon on Saturday. Oregon is 15-2 on the season. Unbeaten in 2025, Anderson goes to Manchester Wednesday to face the 6-8 Spartans. Anderson is 11-3 overall and 6-1 in the Hoosier Heartland, a game behind Rose-Hulman. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30. 11-6 Taylor goes to Huntington Wednesday. Huntington is 13-4. Both teams are in the middle of the crossroads standings and need a win to stay in the race. That game is scheduled for 7:30. And 12-5 Indiana Wesleyan coming off an 84-71 win over Mount Vernon Nazarene on Saturday. Host 5-12 Goshen Wednesday at 7 in Marion. Thank you so much for listening. Please go like, subscribe, or follow. And please tell a friend about the Central Indiana Sports Report. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.